Today we learn about the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means it is the method in which fusion of male gamete with female gamete and formation of diploid zygotes takes place. Is called as the sexual reproduction. Is called as the sexual reproduction. After every living organism, after completion of its maturity in its life, they can reproduce sexually. They can reproduce sexually. Sexual reproduction involves the mixing of paternal and maternal chromosomes. So variations are created in the offsprings and it plays important role in the process of evolution. Sexual reproduction, in the sexual reproduction, there are the sequential events that takes place. In the sexual reproduction, there are the sequential events that takes place. That is, the first is the pre-fertilization. Pre-fertilization change. Second is the fertilization change. And third is the post-fertilization change. Post-fertilization changes. Change. These are the three sequential events that takes place during sexual reproduction. We learn today that is the reproduction, sexual reproduction in case of the plants. In case of the hair plants, after completion of vegetative growth, the plant enter into reproductive stage. That means on the branches of the plant body, flowers are arises. Flower means it is the condensed and modified reproductive shoot which is specially meant for sexual reproduction. ज्यावेळी वनस्पतीची शारीरिक वाढ पूर्ण होते त्यावेळी वनस्पती प्रजननाकडे वळते. प्रजननाकडे वळते म्हणजे काय होतं? वनस्पतीच्या फांद्यांवरती फुले येतात. फूल म्हणजे काय आहे? फूल म्हणजे वनस्पतीनं लैंगिक पद्धतीनं पुनरुत्पादन करण्यासाठी तयार केलेले एक अंग आहे. आपल्याला पार्ट्स ऑफ द आपल्याला फुलांचे भाग 10वीला तुम्ही शिकलेले आहात, 11वीला शिकलेले आहेत. You have learned about the typical parts of the flower. Typical parts of the flower, there are the 4 parts of the flower. Generally in case of the flower, there are the 4 parts of the flower: calyx, corolla, androceme and gynoceme. Calyx, corolla are the accessory floroforals. They help in the process of fertilization, but androceme and gynoceme are the essential floroforals. Androceme represent the male reproductive part of the flower. Gynoceme represent the female reproductive part of the flower. Gynoceme represent the female reproductive part of the flower. Today we learn about the structure of anther. Today we learn about the structure of anther. Today we learn about the structure of anther. Anther, androceme, I told about that the androceme is the male reproductive part of the flower. Androceme is formed by stamens. Each stamen consists of the filament and anther. Each stamen consists of the filament and anther. Each stamen consists of the filament and anther. This filament raise the anther at suitable height, and tip of the filament there are the anthers are present, and these anthers are connected together by a connective tissue layers. These anthers produces the pollen grains. Today we learn about the structure of anther. Today we learn about the structure of anther. Structure of anther. Anther means an immature anther. An immature anther. An immature anther is represented by group of parenchymatous. An immature anther is represented by group of parenchymatous tissue surrounded by single layer of endodermis. Surrounded by single layer of endodermis. The anthers are of two types: monothecous anther and dithecous anther. Monothecous anther consists of the 2 pollen sacs. Mostly anthers are the dithecous in nature. They consist the 4 pollen sacs. They consist the 4 pollen sacs. Some hypodermal cells get transformed into archisporial cells. What is meant by archisporial cells? Archisporial cells means that will produces the microspore mother cells. That is called as the archisporial cells. In Marathi, that is called as the Bijukodbit पिढी निर्माण करणाऱ्या पेशी, अशा पद्धतीने त्याला आपण मराठीत म्हणतो. This some hypodermal cells get transformed into archisporial cells, and that archisporial cells divides to form the inner sporogenous cells and outer primary parietal cells. Inner sporogenous cells develop sporogenous tissue. Each cell of sporogenous tissue is capable to produce the microspores. Outer parietal cell divides and divides to form the anther wall. Outer parietal cell divides and divides to form the anther wall. This is the general structure of anther. Then we turn toward the structure of anther, that is the TS of anther. Structure of TS of anther. TS of anther. When we get the transverse section of anther, then under the microscope you have to observe the figure like this. Structure of TS of anther. The figure is like this. The anther consists of two main parts. First is the anther wall. Second is the microsporangium. Or it is also called as the pollen sac. Microsporangium or pollen sac. Microsporangium or pollen sac. Anther wall means it is the layer which is present on the anther, that is called as the anther wall. It consists of the four layers. Outermost layer, that is called as the epidermis. Middle layer is inner layer called as the endothecum. Third layer is called as the middle layer. And fourth layer is called as the tapetum. Epidermis means it is the outermost single layer of cells which is formed by flat epithelial cells. It acts as the protective in nature. Endothecum means inner to the epidermis there is the single layer of cells are present, that is called as the endothecum. This endothecum cells are the thin wall cells. It consists of the callus, and this endothecum is helpful in the descent of anther at maturity. After the maturity, anther will be ruptures. That process is called as the descent of anther. For that process, these endothecum cells will helpful works. Then the middle layer, inner to the endothecum, there are 2 to 3 layers of the parenchymatous cells are present, and after the maturity, that middle layer will degenerate theirs. Then the fourth layer, that is called as the tapetum. Tapetum means inner close to the sporogenous tissue, the layer which is present around that pollen sac, that is called as the tapetum. And this tapetum provides the nutrition to the developing pollen grains. Then second part, that is called as the microsporangia or pollen sac. Microsporangia This TS of anther consists the tetrasporogenous. Tetrasporogenous means 4 pollen sacs are present there. And here each pollen sac, inner to the each pollen sac, there is the compact mass of sporogenous tissue is present, which is diploid in nature, and it undergoes the process of microsporogenesis, and formation of haploid microspores are produced in this sporogenous tissue there. That means in the sporogenous tissue initially is present in the compact mass of the diploid in natures, and the sporogenous cells that act as the microspore mother cells, which undergoes the process of meiosis and formation of microspores which are tetrad in natures. This is the structure of TS of anther. In this point, there will be the general structure. We learn about the general structure of anther, then we learn about the TS of anther. TS of anther is, this concept is important concept because in board paper so many times for that sketch and label the parts TS of anther, that questions are asked there. Sometimes describe the structure of anther, for that type of questions are also related with the TS of anther. This point is important part in this concept there.